On this episode of China Uncensored, oh, it's a party! A communist party. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Today is the 50th anniversary of China's Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution. Just how great was it? Well, it was such a disaster that even the state-run Global Times called it painful, chaotic, and a devastating decade of political turmoil. Even the Communist Party itself admits that the great helmsman Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution was a serious mistake and that Mao was 70% right and 30% wrong. Part of that 30% wrong is presumably killing 2 million people during that time. Mao began the Cultural Revolution in May 1966 to purge his enemies and restore ideological purity to the Communist Party. The revolution raged out of control, only coming to an end because Mao died in 1976. Not only was it a period of good old-fashioned book burning, temple smashing, and people yelling, but also pure political chaos. You could be a model member of the Communist Party one day, and the next, purged, only to later find yourself back on top. In fact, that's what happened to Mao's eventual successor, Deng Xiaoping. Twice. The human cost of the Cultural Revolution was immense. Groups of violent young people known as the Red Guards denounced, beat, and even killed people who were branded counter-revolutionaries. In some areas, the political frenzy was so insane that people literally ate these so-called enemies. People were encouraged to report their neighbors, friends, even family members. In 1970, 16-year-old Zhang Hongbing heard his mother criticize Mao for starting the Cultural Revolution. He reported her to the police and recommended that she should be shot. She was beaten and executed. Now, Zhang is trying to tell his story in hopes that the Cultural Revolution will never happen again. It's not so easy because the Communist Party, while acknowledging that the Cultural Revolution was a mistake, doesn't really want people talking about what happened. So it was a little surprising to suddenly see this. A massive, patriotic concert featuring songs and imagery from the Cultural Revolution, complete with slogans like, "People of the world, unite and defeat the American invaders and their running dogs." Which kind of raises the question, whose idea was this concert? Amazingly, no one really seems to know. The performance was put on by the patriotic girl band 56 Flowers and the China National Opera Dance Drama Theater. According to the South China Morning Post, the second group said it had been deceived by its partner, which claimed to be from an office under the party's Central Publicity Department. That would be the Central Propaganda Department office for the promotion of socialist core values, which apparently does not exist. State-run Global Times said, "We do not believe the show has any official backing." But it was held in the Great Hall of the People. That would be like saying a concert at the U.S. Capitol building had no official backing. Plus, several officials from the Central Propaganda Department were in the audience, and state-run media published articles about the concert, until they were deleted. But here's a hint at what's behind it. Giant picture of Mao Zedong, giant picture of Xi Jinping. Giant picture of Mao Zedong, giant picture of Xi Jinping. If I didn't know any better, I'd say someone is trying to make a comparison. And for Xi Jinping, that's a dangerous comparison for people to make. Ever since Mao, the party has been terrified of the thrall of a personality cult. Remember the last guy that tried to start one? Bo Xilai. He's now in jail for life. And yet it seems like the same kind of cult is being built up around Xi Jinping. From memorabilia to songs and dance, to totally impromptu praise from foreign students put out by Chinese media.
Very humble leader.
Of our Chinese leader.
Wise and resolute president.
Handsome. Yeah,
So this concert can't actually be good for Xi, right? Well, that may be the point. The day after the Cultural Revolution concert, Xi just so happened to give a speech warning about cabals and cliques within the Communist Party. He said, There are careerists and conspirators existing in our party and undermining the party's governance. And by governance, he most likely means himself. Since she stepped onto the stage in 2012, there's been a constant power struggle between she and the people who used to hold the reins within the Communist Party, a faction, or cabal if you will, affiliated with former Chinese leader Jiang Zemin. And it just so happens that many of the most powerful members of Jiang's old guard have been purged in Xi's so-called anti-corruption campaign. But hey, as Xi said, the fight against corruption is not a House of Cards power struggle. So I was right! Xi Jinping does watch House of Cards. Anyway, Xi has been amassing power and titles. He just appointed himself as China's first ever commander-in-chief. So, is he the next Mao? Well, as Roderick McFarquhar, an expert in elite Communist Party politics, put it, Chairman Mao never needed titles. Everyone knew who was in charge. So, was this Cultural Revolution concert just a way for Xi's rivals to compare him to Mao so they could criticize and take him down? Might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Liu Yunshan, the official in charge of China's propaganda, is one of Xi Jinping's biggest rivals. So, there's a mysterious concert at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. It appears to have been approved in some way by the propaganda department. And it could make Xi Jinping look like a dangerous leader of a personality cult on the anniversary of the Cultural Revolution. Then, outrage over the concert, people blame a fake propaganda agency, censorship ensues. Evidence of a power struggle or inept political blundering? Leave your comments below. And if you like this episode, support China Uncensored on Patreon. Oh, and if you're interested in learning more about the Cultural Revolution, a China Uncensored fan is tweeting about it here. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time. Welcome to China Uncensored. I am your host, Sarcastabot 3000. Until Xi Jinping came to power, the People's Liberation Army never had a joint command. Kind of important, right?